What's up everyone? Today we're going to be working on some ducting. With the new intercooler down here, I am concerned about where the air is going to be passing through. So there's two places mainly where the air comes into the car here. One is the bumper. The bumper is removed, but there is a hole in the bumper, and it pretty much is almost the same size as the fins or this whole intercooler shape. So everything going through the bumper is going to go through the intercooler. The other source of air is the grills of the hood in front of the car, these guys. And that air will go primarily up here. So my dilemma is, as air is going through the intercooler, it's coming out of here. At the same time, air is coming through the grill up at the top, and it might counteract the air coming through here. So if the air is coming here and fighting the intercooler air that's being passed through down here, I'm afraid that there isn't sufficient airflow going through the intercooler as well as the radiator and the oil cooler way down there. And that is actually my second concern as far as the air kind of interfering with each other from the grill and the bumper. Also afraid that the oil cooler way down there, because now it's blocked by the intercooler, is going to have enough direct airflow. And I'm concerned with all these airflow uh, issues because it pretty much is what will help with keeping the car running cool. Here's another diagram for you guys. There's three photos or diagrams here. We have the uh, OEM setup, where I put naturally aspirated or NA. Then this is when I put on the front mount intercooler. And this is with the duct idea that I'm going to explain. So basically, looking at the NA setup, basically this is the hood, this is the grill opening, and the bumper all in purple. And then with the NA setup, basically you only have two places you're worried about getting air into. It's the radiator and the oil cooler underneath it. And basically all the air going through the grill and bumper directly goes through the radiator and oil cooler. So direct air to the radiator and oil cooler is optimal. So it was working fine, no overheating issues. With the front mount intercooler, which is this new box down here, I'm concerned about the airflow. Like I was describing over at the car, the air going through the bumper will go through the intercooler grate. The air going through the grill will go to the radiator. And I have a feeling it might come down here and counteract the air flowing through the front mount intercooler. And this is my concern area if if I'm getting enough airflow. Also, the oil cooler is pretty much blocked, and I don't know if any air is gonna be making it down there, or insufficient amount of air going down there. So my idea is with some ducting, which is with the dotted line. First, I was thinking about putting some sort of duct from like the top of the grill going down to the oil cooler. That serves mainly to address that first problem I was talking about, which is, uh, air kind of like fighting each other when it's going through the front mount intercooler and when it's coming up from the grill. But I think even if I put that duct there, there might be a need for some airflow to go around. Uh, because if I totally block this, I don't know where the front mount intercooler air is gonna escape. So I am thinking about another duct going across from the grill to the radiator here to allow some of the air to go through the radiator, but also keep the air coming from the grill separate from down the intercooler area. So that's the idea. I think once I put it together, it'll make more sense and hopefully it works. To start, I marked up some shape that I'm thinking the ducting is gonna be with cardboard, and it's this piece here. What I'm thinking about doing with this piece is maybe place it here somewhere. And what it's supposed to be is a scoop that will get half of the air coming through the grill up here in the front, and to get it way down there where, again, I'm afraid the oil cooler is not going to get sufficient airflow. But this thing acts as two purposes. I'm going to put this back down. With the scoop there in place, it also um, addresses that first problem I was talking about, is just separating the air from the grill and down at the intercooler area. So all the air from the grill will go through the radiator and partially down to the oil cooler by the scoop. But keep a separator here, so whatever air is still passing through the intercooler around the scoop area will have a place to escape behind the radiator. But that's the idea. Again, I think it'll make more sense once I put it together. So I'm inside my garage and already getting a head start with some of the work. I'm going to be mainly using some aluminum sheet metal, and I've never owned any tools needed to cut sheet metal, so a lot of this is new to me. But going back to the scoop, I did cut out two pieces out of aluminum. So basically, I just use the bandsaw to cut this out, and using that cardboard piece as a template. I actually have two of them, because if you guys haven't or still confused of what I'm trying to do here, basically these two pieces will be the spine of the scoop. So if you imagine them like this, basically there's going to be a sheet metal that's going to come around here to act as a scoop, one on this side and one on this side, so the air comes in from the grill here and exit out to the oil cooler where we need that airflow. So what I'm doing with these like pieces is just practicing where I am gonna put the holes, and I think I'm gonna use rivets, and I cut these little slits as like relief cuts, so it can make it around the spine of my scoop. I'm gonna pre-drill some holes on here, then use rivets to attach the two ends, or the top and bottom parts of the scoop. So here's the spine, a little more mocked up. Basically, I just put some holes in just a few places to kind of see how everything's gonna go together. Now that I got it in place, I'm gonna go ahead and mark up the rest of the holes and drill them out for this spine. And what's cool about this is I could remove this, because this is not the final scoop. I'm kind of just like using this as a template. This all comes off, and I could use this guy here to basically mark up all the other sides of the spine. Okay, I got the sides or the spine of my little scoop duct drilled out. Now I gotta get to the top and bottom pieces. I already kind of marked up where I'm gonna drill more holes and where I'm gonna make the bend. Okay, I got the top done and all the holes are drilled. Now I'm just gonna bend the two flaps on each side of this using this bending tool. There you go. I'm not measuring this, I'm just kind of like eyeballing the center between all of the holes. So how this is gonna go down is this will go here, this piece will go here, and basically, again, this is the inlet of the air coming through here. It goes out. I'm gonna try and wrap this around this whole contour, and this is just one side of it. I still got to make the other part that goes on here, and what I'm trying to use to attach it to are these I think they're called pop rivets. So basically you stick this on, or you stick this guy through the two pieces you want to fasten together. To get it in the hole. And basically use this tool, and what this tool does is the stem here, I want to say, goes in this hole, and it will slowly pull this stem out. And what's happening on the back side of it, I'm going to show this with one piece, is as the stem gets pulled out downward with the tool, this part here will mushroom, similar to the rib nuts we did on the other videos, and it will basically be an anchor. So that is how I'm gonna attach the sheet metal together. This goes in here. I'll do the first one on camera. Inlet, that's the inlet. That's the outside. And now I squeeze. Now it's all attached to each other. And you can see on the other side, it's kind of like mushroomed. Maybe not as flat as I would like it to be. But the bottom part of that rivet is mushroom. So now these two pieces basically attach to each other. One side done. Pretty happy with it, given that I've never done this before. Took a lot of massaging. But you can now see the scoop that I am trying to make. It goes in here, air goes in here, comes out to the oil cooler down here. Probably need to cut this and bend it upwards or something. But this thing took a lot of massaging. So this side here is gonna mate to the oil cooler, and I plan to put a piece of foam here so it kind of like butts up on the oil cooler and kind of seals it. So I'm just using this little, I don't even know what you call this, but probably some sort of seam bender tool for ducting. Get me a 90-degree bend there. I'm gonna do the same on this side as well. Cool, so I'm done with my little scoop. So it's gonna go like this. Air is gonna come in, come down here, and get fresh air to the oil cooler. Pretty happy with it, given that it's my first time ever working on sheet metal. I did put some more relief cuts up in the inlet and bent them out a little, so it gives it a little rigidity. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with it. Now I just got to make some brackets and mount them onto the car. Here's the scoop mocked up with painter's tape. Air is going to enter here and go down to the oil cooler. There is still space between the scoop and the intercooler. The hood down about half of the inlet of the grills will go to the oil cooler and the other half to the radiator. Okay, that's it for today. My hands hurt from all those pop rivets, but gonna call it a night. Until the next one.